It is, of course, spring season for sports as well at West Bloomfield High School. We're wrapping up the winter season here in the next week or so, and then it's on to all those other sports getting back outdoors. And it's an exciting time of the year at West Bloomfield High School as the Laker faithful continue to get back out and support their teams. And many of those teams having a mass of success in recent years, including our spring teams as well. Joining us to talk about spring sports and some exciting news in the winter sports realm as well is West Bloomfield High School Athletic Director Eric Pierce. Eric, thanks for joining us.
Hey, good morning, Tyler. Thanks for having me on as always.
Yeah, glad to have you with us. It's an exciting time of the year. Let's jump right in to spring sports because this is an interesting season. Whereas winter sports and even fall sports tend to be a little bit more focused generally in certain areas of athletics. People that are interested in football will play football. If they're soccer players on the boys' side, they'll play soccer. In the winter, if you're a volleyball player, you're a volleyball player. A basketball player, you're a basketball player. But when you get into spring, you got sports that are still have that focus, but there's also a number of other sports that really help kids get ready for those other seasons too, while still being incredibly successful.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of offerings as we always do with our spring sports season, and a lot of excitement here in Laker Nation for our spring sports teams. Our baseball team's coming off a really strong season last year. Got a lot of pitching this year under the direction of Coach Bernberg. We're looking for some wonderful, wonderful things from them this year. Our track and field team, you talk about preparing for other sports and also, taking care of business by themselves. Track and field is extremely strong here. We have excellent sprint relays and sprinters. And we did a lot of good at the state meet last year. Somebody like Cameron Tatum winning two all-state titles last year just by herself. So some great excitement there. Then you have your girls and boys lacrosse, your girls tennis. You have boys golf, softball. We're really excited for everything that's going on this spring.
Yeah, and there's a lot of eyes on that baseball team in particular. They had a wildly successful season in 2023. They had several of their players who ended up moving on to play high-level college baseball, including right now, one that comes to mind is Logan Pecor, who had initially committed to play at Central Michigan and is now playing at Michigan State and playing a pretty key role there as well. Talk about this baseball team and how it's developed in the last few years to turn from a team that was consistently pretty good into a team that's contending at the state level.
Yeah, and when it comes to baseball and being an old baseball guy myself, uh, Coach Bernberg's done a really great job of focusing on the strengths of his team. Pitching and defense is where it's all at, and pitching and defense can keep you in a lot of games, and you find ways to score runs from there. But you look at the different pitchers that we have on the team, highlighted by like Slade Moore, a Brody Kapoor, a Miles Sorn. Those guys are doing great jobs in terms of keeping us in games. And then you have a bunch of other players that are out there. We have a lot of juniors and seniors on the team that are going to lead us to having another fantastic season.
Yeah, and all this can be found along with on westbloomfieldathletics.com. They have all the details on these teams as they head throughout their season and at all different levels as well, whether it's freshman, JV, or the varsity team, westbloomfieldathletics.com. In addition, right now, if you go to Twitter at LakerBBallWB, you'll find a fundraiser that helps to support the baseball team during their season with a number of different efforts from training to travel and so much more. westbloomfieldathletics.com is the website for that. And Eric, we talk about these teams that have a lot of success often, like the baseball team, football team, basketball teams, even last season in spring, the girls soccer team also having a lot of success. But there's so many different levels of success in West Bloomfield High School athletics and high school athletics altogether. As someone that's been a coach and is now an athletic director, now what do you see as being those keys to building these really great programs that you have at West Bloomfield High School?
Yeah, and for sure. And you mentioned girls soccer, which is fantastic as well. Another great spring sport that we have going on. But the biggest thing that we have, Tyler, is I think it's a culture. It's a culture of success, and it carries over from one sport to another. Our students, as I've said before, they truly play for the school. It's not about themselves. They understand that they're part of Laker Nation, that they're part of something that's bigger than themselves. And when they see the success of other teams that we've had throughout the course of the year, they want to emulate that success with their team. And they've done a wonderful job of carrying on those traditions and building programs. You see excitement for all of our sports as we go through the seasons. And as an athletic director, it's truly rewarding to go out there and see that. It's an exciting time to be a member of West Bloomfield High School. It's an exciting time to play athletics here.
West Bloomfield High School Athletic Director Eric Pierce is with us on the Splash Live. More information can be found on all of West Bloomfield High School's athletics all throughout the year on westbloomfieldathletics.com. And Eric, you talk about the nature of these players, these student athletes at West Bloomfield High School, and that really goes back to building these programs and building an athletic program that supports these players to be inspired to play for their school. Well, take us through the journey of building that, because you've been a really big part of that, as have many of the longtime coaches at West Bloomfield High School. What did it take to build that culture, to have that inspiration from students to say, I'm not only playing for my own success and my team's success, but for the entire community here in West Bloomfield?
I think the biggest thing when you think about the traditions here and our success lately is just the buy-in of everybody. Our coaches, they're vested. I mean, they want what's best for their players. They want what's best for the school. They know that it's about representing the school, and it's about providing excellent opportunities and experiences for these student athletes. The student athletes then see what their coaches are doing and all the hard work they're putting in, and they embrace the grind. And they do things to help out in the community, as well as to help out in terms of performance on the field. Just today, and it's funny we're talking about this today, but in about an hour here, we have a group of senior athletes that are going to Scotch Elementary School to be secret readers, mystery readers for the classes there. And those are the types of things that when I call student athletes down to my office and I ask them if they want to be a part of, it's automatically a yes and a smile, and I love it. And those are cool, rewarding experiences for me as an athletic director, because I'm not pulling anybody's teeth to try to get them to do these things. They want to do it because they understand the importance of community, and they realize how much support the community is giving them, and they want to give back.
And how much of that is coaching too? Because you had mentioned the work that coaches put in to maintaining that culture and to building these programs. As someone that's been a coach and understands what that grind is like, just how hard are these coaches working to maintain this level of success we have in our high school sports here?
Well, they're working extremely hard, and when we talk about our coaches, I always say this when it comes down to signing day. Coaching nowadays has become a 24/7, 365. You're available to your players, you're available to the families in your program at all times, and they truly are putting in the work. They're not just on the field coaches, but they're mentors off the field. They give advice, they talk to their student athletes, they follow them, they make sure they're on the right path. They do so much, and their buy-in is what makes this go. And the fact that they're working so hard and they're providing these positive experiences for our student athletes is what makes us have the success that we do. And I truly can't thank our coaching staffs enough for what they're doing every single day for our student athletes.
Yeah, having a big impact on these players. You go to these signing days, and often the first people outside of their families that they are thanking, and even sometimes before or in there with their teammates, are those coaches that are dedicating so much of their lives outside of their family, outside of their workday, in order to help these kids develop both in their sport, on and off the field or off the court. Eric Pierce is with us, athletic director at West Bloomfield High School. You can keep up to date with all of their spring sports and more at westbloomfieldathletics.com. And of course, always you can follow the school district on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools. Eric, it's playoff time, and we're in the big part of the playoffs for West Bloomfield High School girls basketball. They are playing in the quarterfinals tonight at U of D Mercy against Temperance Bedford. This is the big one for them, because you win this game, you got a few days off, and you're going back to the Breslin Center, a place where we've had a lot of success in the last couple of years, but also a lot of heartbreak as well. Talk about this girls team and what has primed them to make potentially a third consecutive trip to the Breslin Center.
Well, I tell you, the first thing that I think about when I think of our girls team is they're seasoned veterans. They're like pros out there. They really are. And they embrace the grind. They embrace the challenges. They embrace being the team that's been ranked #1 in the state the whole year, and understanding that they were the hunted throughout the whole course of the season. And they've had a goal in mind right from the beginning of the season, and that's to get back to the Breslin and to win another state title for West Bloomfield High School. And I love the way this team plays. They're so exciting to watch. Just the fundamentals that they have, the effort that they give out there every single day. It's been a pleasure to watch them throughout the years, and it's one of those things where I feel like sometimes people don't realize how great a team is when they're watching them in the moment, but then they look back and they see and they're like, holy cow, that team was special. And that's truly what this team is. They're extremely special. And I hope that everybody enjoys what this team has brought to West Bloomfield High School and how much they have done to represent our school in a positive light. And tonight's going to be a big test. It's going to be a real tough test against a very tough Temperance Bedford team that's played some big opponents and beat some big opponents. And I tell you what, though, I'll tell you one thing: our girls are going to be prepared, and they're going to come out there and they're going to give the best effort they have, and hopefully we'll be seeing everybody in the Breslin Center on Friday.
Yeah, whether they have been in a narrow lead, as had happened at times earlier on in the playoffs against teams like Detroit Renaissance, or they've had blowout victories like had happened in the regional finals against Royal Oak, they're always playing at a high level and with a high intensity. The game is never won for them until that final buzzer, and that hard work, that determination, and ultimately that success can be highlighted, as you said, in these veteran players. And some big news out of West Bloomfield late last week: Summer Davis from the West Bloomfield High School girls varsity basketball team, a senior, has won the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Michigan. This is the second consecutive Laker and a second consecutive Davis twin to be named Gatorade Player of the Year. Talk about Summer and her success this year.
Well, it just an absolutely well-deserved honor for Summer Davis, and she's one of the people that has consistently put up numbers for us and kept us in the limelight throughout the seasons that she's been here. And to see her sister win it last year and then to win it this year, I mean, they both very deserving of the award. And I think that Summer came out this year, saying, hey, this is something that I can do as well. And gosh, she's just such a pure scorer. And then you see the effort that she has on defense with the amount of steals that she has and the defensive intensity. These girls do it. They do it in the classroom and they do it on the court as well. And she's a leader. There's no doubt about it. And when it comes down to an award like the Gatorade Player of the Year for the state of Michigan, I'm glad that the state of Michigan has recognized that our girls, with India and Summer both winning it, are putting up the numbers that they put up a lot of times in a half or three quarters and not being able to play that fourth quarter because we have been so successful and we get our other players in when a game does get lopsided. So they do a great job, and I'm so proud and so happy for Summer that she was recognized with this award.
Recognized as the Gatorade Player of the Year. Her sister India last year was the Gatorade Player of the Year. In 2024, averaging through this point in the season, 18.5 points per game, 4 steals, 4 assists, and nearly 4 rebounds for the Lakers in what's currently been a one-loss season. Hopefully will continue to be just a one-loss season the rest of the way. The Lakers win tonight at against Temperance Bedford at U of D Mercy. They will be playing Friday afternoon at the Breslin Center in the semifinal. Potentially, Eric, a really interesting story there, a head-on collision rematch with Rockford in that semifinal. There's so much history there. I love this story, and I love the potential of this rematch once again because 2 years ago, they beat Rockford in the semifinals. They go to the finals. They win. Last year, they have a rematch with Rockford in the finals. It's a back-and-forth game. It is a true grudge match. They just come up with a loss in the end of that. I mean, this is a great rivalry we got developing here.
Oh, it is. It truly is. And Rockford's an extremely well-coached team as well. And they do a lot of wonderful things, and they've dominated the west side of the state for the last couple of years. And we've had some great games with them the last couple of years. I know this is one that our girls have kind of looked ahead since the beginning of the year and said, when can we possibly match up with Rockford? And we've got Temperance Bedford tonight, and hopefully we take care of business. And I assume that our girls are going to go out there and like we said, they're going to give max effort, and hopefully we get a shot at Rockford on Friday. And I can tell you one thing again: our girls will be excited. Our girls will be extremely fired up for that game. To all of our fans out there, especially the ones that are coming tonight to Callahan Hall for the Temperance Bedford game. Coach McAllister has said, please show up, wear your camo, because it's going to show support for our girls basketball team. Our coaches are all going to be in camo as well, and this is going to be our theme for the rest of the year because we're going to go do it, and we're going to take care of business.
Yeah, Coach McAllister describing to us that camo comes from they were the Hunters, then they became the Hunted last season. They're the Hunters once again this season, and so that camo indicates we're going hunting as Laker Nation and hopefully getting a championship back to West Bloomfield. Eric, before we let you go, anything else that we should know about spring sports coming up or any other updates for the community from your athletic department?
Oh, always. It's one of those things where although the weather is taking a nice little twist on us right now, it teased us a little bit with having wonderful weather for our tryout season. We do have games starting right away. Baseball is playing tomorrow, believe it or not, for their first game of the year. And I encourage everybody, just like Tyler's been saying, just like you've been saying, to go to westbloomfieldathletics.com, check out our spring schedule. Come on out and support the Laker Athletics, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a great spring sports season, and a number of opportunities for people to come out and see the excellence that we have in our athletic program and some of the extremely talented student athletes.
More information can be found on all of West Bloomfield High School's spring sports and sports all throughout the year on westbloomfieldathletics.com, and you can always follow along with everything happening in the school district on wbsd.org. Eric, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Always appreciate it.